Previously on the Fintertainment channel, we added a Plum Quick Bandit to our 14 model club car. It took the speed from 12 to 23 miles per hour. The second video of the series, we added a lift kit and some wheels and tires. The tires and wheels are made by Trex, 14-inch wheels, 23-inch tall tires. The All Sports lift kit is American made. It's a 6-inch lift kit, and you can find the entire detailed installation on the second video there. Everything came from golfcarttiresupply.com, and it took our speed from 23 to 27 miles per hour. Now, in today's video, we're going to be installing a Navitas controller. This controller gives us more speed, more torque, security, so many settings, adjustable on the fly, and it has a programmable app for your phone as well. Be sure to check it out. So here we go. We are going to be running, this is the Navitas controller, dash controller. This is the, I want to say the cable that goes from this right here controller to the stock harness on the golf cart. Also, this right here goes to this dash mounted controller here. And since we went with the Plum Quick motor, we decided to go with the DC motor controller on here. Now this is the 600 amp controller. And that's what it looks like there. We're going to be installing that on my 2014 club car Precedent. It's the XL model. And one reason I went with Navitas is because be able to use my phone through Bluetooth, and also have on dash controls. This is the DC motor controller, 48 volt, 600 amp. So yeah, let's get this onto the golf cart. So in order to get started, make sure the golf cart's in the off position. Go ahead and set your park brake. Next, we're going to go ahead and remove the seat base. Lift up and pull straight up. You can pull the seat off the golf cart. Be sure to turn the golf cart into the tow mode. On this right here, I'm going to go ahead and remove the positive and the negative battery cables from the pack. Takes a 1/2 inch. Next, we're going to remove this T40 bolt here. This is going to be where your controller will be. We're going to sit this right here. We're going to get a piece of cardboard and lay down here so none of this right here touches any of the battery post and shorten anything out. So what we have here is the controller. We have the tow and run switch here, and we have the solenoid. Now would be the good time to go ahead and take a picture of the wiring on the controller here. This just lets us know what we have, and once we look at the controller and take a picture of it, we know where to match the wires onto the new controller. Let's get started. We can go ahead and disconnect this harness here and pull off this wire. And this one as well. So in order to remove the wires from the heavy duty cable, we grabbed a 13mm socket. To remove the controller away from this panel here, we're using a 3/8 socket. The top bolt does not have to come out, it just slides off. To install the new controller, we just slide the top into that bolt there. and the holes are already there for the existing bolts. So I'm using an impact to tighten the controller to the mounting plate. But you do not want to use an impact to tighten the wires to the controller, only for removing off the old one. So orange is going to be going to the F1 connector here. Blue is going to go to the F2 connector. We're going to use our 13 millimeter socket and wrench here. We're going to loosen these up. The yellow and green wire is battery plus. The white wire is M. The two black wires here is going to be battery minus. So this is the controller, and before we mount the controller and run the wires back, I think this right here is going to be a good spot. Before we mount this, we're going to take some rubbing alcohol and clean it up. We want to have this free and clean of any kind of chemicals, so the double-sided tape will stick the best. Tape's removed. Get it where we want. Apply firm pressure. Now, in order to remove this dash piece away from the dash itself, you're going to have two T30s, one here and one on that side of the dash, and up here you're going to have a T15. Once you have those bolts removed, you can now remove this access cover. Since we already have the controller mounted, we're just going to take the wire and run it down and behind the dash here. Next, you can take your cable here, hook the big lead up. It's your main harness. And this 8-pin here is going to be for the remote control that's on the dash. Now what I'm going to do next is go ahead and take all the slack here, and I'm going to put it into a circle, and I'm going to wire tie it to get majority of the slack out. Then I'll do a final wire tie after it's all put together. Next, since we have everything else installed, we're going to go ahead and remove this cover. Remember, these two pins come out, the cover comes up. So every video I've seen that does this, they mark it out a certain amount of inches away from here to here. They go up a certain amount, and also they have to continue to cut more after they cut it all and place the controller back in place. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take it from this middle section up and over about 3 inches down and try to make a big square here. Okay, a lot of other videos that's roaming around YouTube, this cover here isn't on here. We're going to leave this cover here so you can kind of see exactly what yours is going to look like. You know, there's no really smoke and mirrors into this, and I don't want to give any kind of fake impressions that this panel isn't there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut straight down here. I'm going to come over, up, and there. It's not going to be perfect, but we're going to try to make it. Also, when you're cutting and you really can't see anything, there's going to be this channel here behind it, so you want to make sure that whatever you're using to cut with is long enough to pass through 2 layers of plastic. So once we have everything placed back onto the controller, all the harnesses, we're going to place it back into the golf cart. Let's see if the cutout we made is big enough. So as you can tell, the cutout we made is large enough. Now we just need to go ahead and take this top piece, push it down, and bolt it into place. Once you have everything back together, we can go ahead and install our power and ground cable. Now you can put it back into run. As you can see, once we have this cover on top of the battery here, we messed up the boot. It's still fine. Next, we'll go ahead and place the seat back on. Now, once you have the controller installed on a golf cart, next we need to install the motor map. I have the Navitas dealer app on my phone here. Go ahead and select the controller, and we're going to go to the download screen. Once the app opens, the download screen's at the far right hand side. This is where you're going to select the motor you have on your golf cart, whether it be a stock one or aftermarket. Mine is a Plum Quick Bandit, so of course you're going to hit yes here, and the firmware is going to load. Now, I sped this clip up here about 8 times, but it usually takes this right here about 5 minutes to fully load. Now, when you download the app here, you can actually get the standard Navitas app, but the Navitas dealer app is for a little bit more qualified people. You can ask for this app, and you may receive it. Once you have this right here done, it'll just say programming done, and now it's done and is ready to go. Next, we need to change our tire size. Very top, tire diameter. Go ahead and choose or type in which one you have and select done. Once you've selected done, you need to go to the very bottom of the app to save changes. Click save changes, hit yes. Once changes are saved, go on your golf cart's main key, turn it off, turn it back on so it saves the setting. So the controller comes stock at 25 miles per hour in the forward direction, 4,500 RPM. Robbie Steen said 6,500 for the Bandit. Go ahead and hit accept here. Once you hit that, it's good for 35 miles per hour. You can save changes, hit yes. And after you do this right here, make sure to turn the golf cart off and back on the key switch to fully save it. Now you can do the same thing in reverse. You can give it more speed or less speed. I gave mine less speed in reverse. I don't need it to go that fast. Now it's not saying that your golf cart will go exactly that speed, but it'll get close to it. So looking at the diagnostics here, the key switch is on, but when we turn it off, it instantly changes to the off position on the app, and on and off. The forward switch, if we put it into forward mode, it changes to on. Change it off when we put it in, or take it out of forward mode. Reverse is the same way. On there, off there. The charger is actually inputted into the golf cart, so that's where it says connected. The battery voltage is showing 51.59, and it shows that with the key switch on or off. The throttle voltage goes up to 5 volts, I believe. Let's see here. As we push it down, it goes to 4.99. And the throttle is at 100%. It's all the way down. The motor RPM and the vehicle miles per hour, not going to be able to do that while we're sitting still. The motor type, and then you have main solenoid. So the main solenoid, we'll put the key to the on position here. We'll put it in neutral. Once we have it in neutral, the main solenoid, we should be able to push this in, and once it clicks, it'll show here. There it is. It's just click to the on position. Release it, and it's off. Now your buzzer, we did change it, but let's put it into reverse here. Buzzer is on, buzzer is off. The motor output, since we're not moving now, we cannot really determine that, but once you're moving, it shows you the battery current, shows you the armature current, the field current, and the motor thermal percentage. On the locked, down here we have the lock switch is in unlocked position. We have the key, we can take it, place it in, turn it to lock. It shows the lock switch has been locked. We can turn it to unlock, remove, shows the lock switch has unlocked. Top speed 11%. It shows here percentage on the speed itself, where we go down from 0, turn it all the way up to 100. It shows that there. Region, brake strength is at 73%. We go all the way to 100 there. Shows 99. We can go all the way back to 0. It shows 0 percentage. Same with acceleration. Start at 0. Acceleration goes all the way up to 99% there. Now the firmware down there, we already set the motor profile on the Bandit, and we did that on the download setting here. That's going to be the first thing you do. On the app itself, you have a green button down here that says unlock. Now we can take our finger, press the button, it'll turn red. Now while that is in the red position, you can now control the golf cart and lock it where with the key on or off, the golf cart will not move. So that's a security feature. No forward, no reverse, nothing. On or off, the golf cart will not move. It will only move again until we unlock on the app itself, and then it will now move. So the on-the-fly controller here that's mounted on the dash has a couple of different features. The first feature is you can adjust the speed, the region, and the acceleration. Now you can put these high or low, and you can adjust these while the golf cart is moving as long as the switch is in the unlocked position. However, if the switch is in the lock position, these settings cannot be changed. The lock and unlock adjustability for the on-the-fly controller is perfect for families with kids or companies with employees. You can set this how you want it so no one can modify the settings while it's in the lock position. Now with this being said, the top speed can also be limited in the app regardless of the on-the-fly position. This is with acceleration all the way down, the speed all the way down, and region all the way down. Takeoff is a lot slower. Next up, this is with acceleration all the way up and the speed all the way up. Region is all the way down. This is now the takeoff. This is the acceleration all the way up and the speed all the way down. This is with the speed all the way up and the acceleration all the way down. .51 volts. It's in forward. We're not moving. The on-the-fly programmer, all the settings are down, and we're going to show how fast this golf cart goes. As you can see, the pedal is all the way to the floor. Go about 11 miles per hour. Okay, we're at 50.51 volts here. We're currently stopped. Well, the battery voltage is slowly going up. 51.1, 51.2. We're stopped here. We're gonna do a recommended here where all the black marks are. Put the speed there. We're gonna put the region up there. And we're gonna put the acceleration straight up. Let's see exactly how fast we can get on the application right now. Make sure no one's coming, and we're gonna punch it. So at their recommended settings, we're getting about 18-19 miles per hour with the on-the-fly recommended settings from Navitas. Now with the battery voltage at 51.1 volts, as you can tell, we are stopped. We're going to turn everything up except region. Acceleration all the way up, speed all the way up, turn region all the way down. Let's see how fast the golf cart is now. 51.21 volts. So in this last scene here, I was wanting to show you, I was experiencing very randomly where the application did not want to start. Every time I would hit the controller, it would say timed out. So it would say reconnect, yes or no. I'd hit yes, and it would do it again. It would say time out, and do you want to connect, yes or no? It did a couple of times. So what I did to solve this issue, in case you run into this as well, is I went ahead and turned the golf cart ignition power off. I lifted the seat. I turned the tow run switch to tow. I gave it a few seconds. I turned it back to run. Once I hit the reconnect to yes, the application opened and worked fine. So how do I like the system? I don't like it at all. I love this system. On my main golf cart, I have a different type of controller, and I always have to borrow someone's laptop in order to adjust something or change something. And it's never on the fly like the Navitas system here is. It's a lot more work, but the Navitas makes everything so much simpler. Now I can set this the speed or the region or the acceleration for my 10 or 14-year-old children where they can go ride, and I can lock it and let them build a little bit of trust, and maybe I give them a little bit more speed. And the other night when my 6-year-old was wanting to drive the golf cart, I said, here, you jump in the driver's seat, I'll adjust the pedal and you can drive. Well, I just turned the speed all the way down and acceleration all the way down where she could handle it, and it worked great. I could lock the golf cart, say we go camping and I need to secure the golf cart where I can lock on the app. If somebody jumps on it with a key, well, they cannot go anywhere without unlocking the app. I absolutely love this right here. There's so much on here that that you can set up and adjust your golf cart to different ranges and settings and all that kind of stuff. I love it, guys. I appreciate you watching. I'll place links in the description below where you can find these controllers, where you can find them at. They're relatively cheap. Remember, this is the entry-level controller. And the entry-level controller, I have an entry-level Plum Quick motor. I have 23-inch tires on the lift kit, and I was able to hit 30 miles per hour on 2-year-old batteries. The batteries need to be replaced. We might do something in the future here shortly. I'm not sure yet. But I appreciate you guys watching. I'm Ryan Finners. You've been watching the Finnertainment channel. Please drop a like on this right here video. I try to put as much into this video as possible and show as much stuff to you guys as possible as well. Also share this with a friend. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. And until next time, guys, we'll see you later.